We all know of game improvement irons, but what about super game improvement irons? That's what I've got here today with these brand new TaylorMade Stealth HD irons. I like them. There's one thing about them that I'm not sure about. These Stealth HD irons are an ultra forgiving iron engineered to deliver a slightly draw bias club, also with extremely high launch. Although they are super game improvement, the lot of them aren't that ridiculous. 7-iron of 30 degrees, nothing too bad. And that's because we are trying to get a lot of high launch with this. It's not necessarily massive distance, it's more about forgiveness, turf interaction, and making the game easier for people who find it difficult. With high launch and an ultra low CG design comes a lot of offset. And these put these into the category of Wilson, Cleveland with their high bores. The irons that could be argued to look like a hybrid, but the interesting caveat about the Stealth HD is that the top line isn't actually that large, it's that there's a lot of baggage behind the ball as well. For a super game improvement club, I feel like the Stealth HD does look pretty good. It's got the aesthetics of the original Stealth irons, just a little bit larger. But if we are talking about a super game improvement iron, you are obviously losing a little bit of that shelf appeal because it is very large. I've got a 6-iron and 8-iron with me today. We're going to look at those characteristics of launch, draw bias, and see what happens here at the GC Quad at the amazing Grays Golf in the southeast of England. I'll put a link down in the description if you guys do want to go check it out and get fitted because they've got bloody everything here. So what I'm expecting with these irons isn't crazy distance. Isn't probably anything crazy in terms of the overall numbers we're getting, but it's going to be consistent is what I want, because with a club that is ultra low CG, I want to see consistent numbers time after time, and that's not really relevant as to where I'm hitting it across the face, because that one there was like there, a little bit out the toe, but we're still getting pretty good numbers there, as you can see. Turn, pump fake. I've hit two absolute stinkers of a golf shot to begin with because they're not going very far. But the good thing about them not going very far is this is a review. These clubs are for people who find the game difficult. And apparently, I'm finding the game very difficult today. These feature a KBS Max 85 gram shaft, which again, it's clear to see that what TaylorMade are doing is they're targeting quite a specific golfer with these Stealth HD irons, someone who needs a little bit of launch, needs a little bit of forgiveness, and isn't too bothered by how it looks at address. So the higher handicapper golfers, but also maybe people with slightly slower swing speed as well, some senior golfers. There we go. That's a good one finally, a little bit left. But these clubs do have a slight draw bias, so I'm expecting the overall dispersion to be slightly left of target and to going about 210 yards or so. What I do like about these irons, so just quickly look at the data from the 6-iron here from that last shot, is they're very consistent throughout the set, which is great to see. Wherever you're hitting it across the face, I'm still getting launch between about 17 to 19 degrees, and spin for a super game improvement or game improvement iron at 4,500 is actually pretty good for a 6-iron. I've seen before in other irons such as the Strixon ZX4, Callaway Paradigm, it's lower than that. So these irons aren't meant for distance, they're meant for consistent performance for someone who wants the game to be enjoyable. And when you hit a shot like that, come on, land on the line, land on the line. They do actually feel pretty incredible for a game improvement iron. You do get feedback, but the good thing about these irons, the really good thing about these irons, is I can just look at some really good numbers there, is that despite the feedback that you get, I'm knowing if I'm hitting it off the toe or the heel, the numbers don't really reflect that. We can see I've got a dispersion here from where I'm hitting it of about 15 mile an hour ball speed, and that's good because trust me, I've hit it all over the place in only a few shots so far. Because there is a lot of mass behind the golf ball, it means that when you do hit it in the fairly large sweet spot, it feels very good. And you can see that that launch at 17.7 degrees reflects the ultra low CG, the way in which these are engineered to go high in the air. Yeah, another good one. You see ball speed's picking up now. Now I'm slowly understanding how to use this 85 gram stiff shaft. So these are fast, but if we just look quickly at those numbers, you can see the launch angle staying very consistent. And overall, just as a quick look here, you can see that it's launching it pretty consistently. If we have a look at the launch angle overall in these stats here, you can see it's going between a 1.5 degree deviation, which is actually very good because if you look at the ball speeds, I am If we ignore these two, I just realised, let's disable these two because they actually weren't mine. But if we look at the launch angle, there you go, it's 1.1 degrees deviation. And then looking at these numbers here, it's 6.4 degrees deviation in ball speed. So that's actually not bad at all. That's consistent. The numbers are extremely consistent overall. With the spin rate, again, being really impressive. Look at these numbers here and how different they are from each other. I'm hitting these all across the face and I'm still getting very consistent results. And that's what these irons are supposed to do. They are supposed to give you guys consistent results wherever you hit them across the face. So if you are someone who struggles out in to out, hitting shanks, tops, thins, pulls, there's so many more I can name, and trust me, I do them all. It makes the game a little bit easier for you. Slightly out of the toe. The one problem, let's say, I have with these irons is that these come under the category of super game improvement, yes, which is a good thing. But I do think these are a little bit on the expensive side for this category. If we're comparing them to Wilson, Cleveland, they are considerably cheaper. Yes, these aren't brand new, there's Wilson and Cleveland's, but they are offering the same thing, a very large head, ultra low CG, high launch, easy turf interaction. What is the big difference between the TaylorMade Stealth HD and the other brands? To be honest, I don't think there's that much, but the main thing I would say is it's actually the feel off the face. With other brands such as Wilson and Cleveland, I know I've mentioned them a lot in this video, with those I do think you suffer a little bit with feel. I don't think it's that pleasing of a golf club to hit, whereas as you can see in this video so far, when I've been hitting the 6 iron, now I've got an 8 iron just to see the difference. There's Well, that's lovely. See there, it's an 8 iron, which is only going 165 yard carry, which is pretty similar to my actual gamers. The two almost identical shots there. So we're getting, really impressive actually, really consistent numbers. When you go down to the longer irons with the 4 and the 5 iron, they are a bit larger. I would say they actually then start to look like hybrids a little bit. So if you are looking to get the Stealth HDs, I'd also consider looking at hybrids if you're looking at longer irons as well, because the Stealth 2 hybrids are incredible. So don't just think if you've got the Stealth HDs, you can't mix and match. You absolutely can for the longer irons and get something that could suit your game a little bit more. I've hit 3 identical shots. Are these clubs for me? 85 grams stiff? Maybe. If you are someone who's considering these irons but you're not too sure, there's a few questions you want to ask yourself. The biggest one is, what do you want out of the game of golf? Do you just want to enjoy it? If you do, I think Stealth HD truly is the answer. If you want to improve, these are still a good investment, but I think you transition quite quickly if you're someone who's getting lessons very quickly and wanting to get the best equipment for your game. These are quite clear for people who either have quite slow swing speeds or need a bit of help getting the ball off the ground because they're a high handicap. If you're off 15 or so and have a swing speed of 85, 90 mile an hour, I don't think this would be for you at all. But it's clear that TaylorMade aren't targeting these people. They're targeting people who want help hitting it in the air and just help in golf in general. Thanks for watching, guys, and thanks for Grays Golf for having me out here today. If you did enjoy the video, smash a like and let me know if you have any questions. You want to compare these to any other irons, to the Stealth irons. That could be a cool video, so let me know down in the comments. I'll catch you at the next video.